Construction is a dangerous business, one of the most dangerous. Nearly 5,000 workers are killed each year in the workplace, and approximately 800 of those are killed in the construction industry, and thousands more are injured in ways that significantly damage their health and disrupt their careers and family life. Amazingly, most of these injuries and deaths are preventable by a few simple steps. Crossland's safety training program is designed to help prevent accidents. The program's focus on organizing before each project can significantly reduce the chance of accidents, and this applies to every employee, in the office or in the field. As you begin your career at Crossland, resolve to be safe in everything you do. It's really just a matter of applying a few simple steps. 1. Wear appropriate protective clothing and gear. 2. Plan and organize for each project. 3. Assess the risks for each project, then mitigate the risks. If you're new to Crossland, you'll soon learn that Crossland truly cares about your safety and welfare. Your safety matters to you, to the family that depends on you, and to Crossland, which depends on well-trained, productive employees who end each day safe and uninjured. Be safe. Go home each evening just like you came in the morning. Many workplace accidents occur because of the failure to wear proper protective clothing or equipment. It's essential that you wear your hard hat, glasses, and gloves at all times on all projects. And various projects will demand additional protection: harnesses, masks, respirators. Proper protective equipment will help prevent many injuries: falls, eye injuries, damage from falling objects, and many others. Never go into the worksite without proper protection. More than 1/3 of workplace deaths occur because of falls. Crossland's safety regulations regarding working at heights are there for a reason: to prevent falls that cause death or severe injuries. When using a ladder, make sure the top of the ladder extends at least 3 feet beyond the landing area. Secure the ladder near the top to prevent any movement. Never reach over an arm's length beyond the side rails of a ladder. Don't sit, climb, or stand on the top 2 steps of a stepladder. Never use a stepladder like a straight ladder. Make sure that stepladders are fully open and the spreaders are locked before using. Always carefully inspect fall protection equipment prior to use. Do not use damaged equipment. Instead, turn it into your superintendent immediately. Adjust your harness so that it fits snugly, with the flat side of the D-ring positioned between your shoulder blades and the chest strap connected. When selecting an anchorage, make sure it is capable of holding at least 5,000 pounds, because in a fall, the acceleration of your body creates a great amount of force. All open-sided floors that are 6 feet or more above a lower level must have a guardrail system. A guardrail consists of a top rail, a mid-rail, and a toe board. A top rail must be between 39 and 45 inches, and a mid-rail must be halfway between the top rail and the toe board. Guardrails must be able to support a 200-pound force in every direction. If you're working on a steel erection project over 6 feet above a lower level, you'll need to wear your harness at all times. You must have specific training in order to do decking. Access to a CDZ zone from 15 to 30 feet will be limited to those employees engaged in leading-edge work. The boundaries of the CDZ zone must be designated and clearly marked. The CDZ should not be more than 90 feet wide and 90 feet deep from any leading edge. Unsecured decking shouldn't exceed 3,000 feet. Electrocution is one of the leading causes of death in the construction industry, and almost all these injuries and deaths are preventable with good safety practices. Never work on an electrical device or equipment until you have properly tagged out the equipment. First, turn off the device. Unplug it, flip the breaker, or whatever may be required. Then, lock the control box or disable the device so it can't be accidentally started while you're working on it. Tag the device to show that it is locked out. Keep electrical panels closed. Extreme caution is to be used when working around underground or aerial electrical installations. When working with aerial electric installations, remember the OSHA rule. No equipment within 10 feet of power lines. Consult with the electrician on site when there are any questions. Large equipment can pose a variety of hazards. Equipment like cranes and forklifts should be operated only by certified cross-land operators. When you are operating large equipment, avoid any distractions, particularly use of your cell phone. Stop what you're doing if you have to use the cell phone. If you're working near large equipment, avoid distracting the operator. Never walk behind or alongside moving equipment. Keep the operator in clear sight when guiding equipment. Never hitchhike on equipment, and keep away from equipment that's being loaded. Don't jump from equipment or from the cab of any kind of equipment or vehicle. Broken ankles are a common equipment-related injury. Back injuries are among the most common injuries in the workplace. Often, back injuries result from lifting light objects carelessly or lifting heavy items improperly. There's a proper technique for lifting in order to prevent injury. Square your body to the load and get as close to it as possible. Squat down to the load, then bend your knees and keep your back straight and as close to as vertical as possible. Get a good grip using the whole hands, not just your fingers. Lift with your legs while keeping your back vertical. Never twist your body when lifting objects up or setting them down. Instead, move your feet if you need to reposition yourself. When digging, locate all underground utilities before digging. Make sure to keep all excavated materials at least 2 feet from the edge of the trench. Any trench 5 feet or deeper must be either sloped, benched, shored, or shielded. A designated competent person must inspect and supervise all trenching and excavating work at all times. Never get in a trench that is not being supervised. Make sure there are ladders or ramps at least every 25 feet in the trench. Use barricades or signals to keep traffic and workers from the edge of the trench. In the event you do encounter someone caught in a trench cave-in, call for help. Do not jump in and try to rescue them yourself. Hole covers must be secured and have the word hole or cover clearly written on the cover. It also must be able to support at least twice the weight of anything that will be placed upon it. A confined space is large enough to enter, but hard to get in and out of, and it's hazardous to work in such a space for long periods of time. These may be spaces inside tanks, boilers, or even trenches, and they're hazardous because they may contain flammable or poisoned air and insufficient oxygen. Don't enter a confined space unless you've had specific training for this kind of situation. Always test the air in a confined space before entering, and don't work alone when entering such a space. Don't attempt to rescue someone in a confined space by yourself. Get help instead. Slips, trips, and falls cause many broken bones and injuries, and they're among the easiest accidents to prevent. Many such accidents are the result of bad housekeeping, allowing clutter, debris, and loose materials to scatter around the workplace. Do your best to keep stairways, aisles, and ramps clear of debris, hoses, cords, and tools. Secure loose materials and scrap which might blow around, especially those on rooftops or raised areas, and remove or flatten all protruding nails from lumber. Wet floors is a special hazard. Be cautious when the floor or your shoes are wet. Be on guard when walking from wet, muddy areas onto a concrete surface. Also, areas where sprinkler heads are being cut can be slippery and dangerous. Avoid carrying loads that block your vision because you may fail to see hazards like these that can lead to trips and falls. Be aware of chemicals you may come in contact with that are toxic or hazardous, including concrete products, paint thinners, and various others common to the construction trade. You can find detailed information on chemical hazards on the safety data sheets available in your supervisor's job trailer. Also, Crossland's Hazardous Communication Program ensures that all hazardous chemicals have container labels that describe the material and how it can be dangerous. Make sure you're aware of the location and method of use for fire extinguishers. To use, pull the pin at the top, aim at the base of the fire, squeeze the trigger, and sweep the fire extinguisher from side to side. If you should be the first one at an accident scene, survey the scene and make sure you don't enter the scene unless you can do so safely. Stay calm and send someone to get help, or call for help immediately. Wait calmly with the injured person until help arrives. We've looked at a variety of different types of hazards in this video. As we said at the beginning, 3 simple steps will make all the difference in your exposure to these hazards. 1. Wear appropriate protective clothing and gear. 2. Plan and organize for each project. 3. Assess the risks for each project. Then, mitigate the risks. And if you're about to deal with something that's unsafe, talk to your supervisor. Follow these steps, and the chances are much greater that you'll go home each day just like you came, healthy and safe.